One thing in this life is that karma will always catch up with evil doers. There's no way you will run from it. It will always catch up with you. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Princess Panigo, and today we are touching down on Osinachi. Yes, for those that don't know, Osinachi is a gospel singer. Osinachi Nwachukwu'S is a gospel singer who was allegedly battered to death by her husband. Yes, this cannot be proven as at months back, but as I'm speaking with you right now, the Nigerian government, federal government, has slammed cases on Osinachi's husband, and I'm going to be reading it exactly the way it is, the way they sent out that information on the news for you guys to hear. If you would recall, it seemed like this case was never going to get any leadway because a lot of people were waiting for the autopsy result, but when the autopsy result came out, nothing was said about it on social media. And this is why sometimes it's good to just keep quiet when you're doing things and just allow it, pass through the right channel for it to achieve what it's supposed to achieve. Osinachi, if not for, the singer that came outside and said everything that Osinachi was going through, and then Osinachi's family came outside and backed it up, a lot of people would not know what Osinachi was going through. And it's unfortunate that a lot of people, church members, pastors, did not even suspect what Osinachi was going through because they felt like she was happy. This is why it is very important to, check on those you love, check on your loved ones. And sometimes when your loved ones are making certain decisions that it is not good for them, it's important to still be part of their life, right? And it reads, federal government slams homicide charges at Osinachi's husband. The federal government has filed 23-count charges against Peter Nwachukwu, husband of late popular gospel artist Osinachi, before the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory. The late gospel singer died on April 8, allegedly from complications she sustained after he assaulted her. According to court papers filed on May 20, 2022 by Mrs. Yewande Gbola Awepetun, Head Sexual and Gender-Based Violence Department of Public Prosecution of the Federation Ministry of Justice, Mr. Nwachukwu was charged with culpable homicides contrary to Section 221 of the Penal Code, which is punishable with death. Count 1 reads that Peter Nwachukwu, 56 male, on the 8th of April 2022 at Akko Estate, opposite Police Station Lugbe, Abuja FCT, within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, did commit an offense with culpable homicide punishable with death, in that you caused the death of Mrs. Osinachi Nwachukwu by your various acts of violence and aggravated assault, with the knowledge that her death would be the probable consequence of your acts. Count 2 statement of the offense, willingly placing a person in fear of physical injury contrary to Section 4, subsection 1 of the Violence Against Person Prohibition Act 2015 and punishable under the same section of the Act. No date has been fixed for the commencement of hearing. I heard it all there in the statement that was put out by yourself. This was not put out by me. And so this clears our doubt that nothing was being done, that the case just died down. Yes, we've seen. And if apparently they didn't say anything right, but for them to bring out these charges against Mr. Nwachukwu right now, it only means that after the autopsy was done, they found out certain things, right? And even though they already called him to a hearing to hear his side of the story, to give him a fair chance to say something, and he denied everything, but right here we can see that, as it said, and I'm sure because of that autopsy, that is why he's been, there are going to be hearings about him. This is not the time for women to even stay with a violent person. It's not the time for you to talk about you love him or your emotions. If a man is violent towards you, that is the best time for you to run away with your life while your life is still intact. Who I pity the most in all of this are those kids. Yes, the 4 children that they have, they are the ones that I feel for the most because their mom is gone and then possibly their father is going to be gone. But if you ask me, I don't think they should even sentence him to death, right? I feel like he should just spend the rest of his life in prison with hard labor, in penury, so that he sees what the kind of torture, the pain that this woman went through in his hand before she passed. Yes, I don't think they should sentence him to death. Death is not the... I want him to be alive and witness not living. Really, that is what would fit his kind, so that it can serve as a lesson to other men. A lot of men are battering their wives day in, day out. The issue of domestic violence is not even stopping anytime. So if you go on the internet now, there are lots of issues about domestic violence. You see women coming out to cry after 1 year of marriage, after 6 months of marriage. And I wonder, when you guys were dating, did this person ever raise their hands to hit you? If it never happened, and then it happened in the marriage once, twice, and you still choose to stay. There was an issue in South Africa I heard, where the lady was in a domestic violence relationship and she decided to leave. She had stayed and stayed and stayed, and at this point she decided to just leave. But this man went and found her and still killed her. I won't use that word because of YouTube, but you guys understand. The man found her and still ended her life. He ended her life because she left. There are stories all over the place of women who even succeeded in living, and these men, they still go ahead to find them and end their life. So this goes to show us that sometimes it's even not, it's beyond, oh, leave. When you leave, what happens? If you succeed in living and you know that the kind of person that you're with, that you're afraid of the kind of person you were with, then the best thing is leave and hide. It's not to just leave and start acting like, you know, whatever it is that you were going through, you are free from it right now. You are free to be all over the place. No, you leave and you hide for your life. If relocating is possible, you relocate. You don't communicate with those that you know were this man's friend or his siblings or his relation. Let there be an intermediary. Let it not be that he's communicating with you. Let him not know anything about you. Because lives have been lost, even by the women who finally succeeded in living, they still passed. It is sad that Osinachi is gone, but it's a good thing that Osinachi did not go in vain, that the matter is going to be judged finally. After everything this man did, you know, battering her, I mean, like, he battered her, really, guys. Restricted her from so many things, like she was living in fear. Who marries a man and you are living in fear? Marriage is supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be in the place whereby you found your rest, your partner, your friend, and everything. But apparently in Osinachi's case, it didn't end well for her. She passed. And her family, they tried. Because no one is going to say they did not try. So guys, this is where I'm just going to end this all. You have heard what has been said about Osinachi's husband. And how many counts, you know, cases they've slammed on his head. On that is, let me not say anything in that regards, right? That have been slammed on his head. And we hope that the law will do the needful in making sure that this man sleeps and stays in prison. And hopefully those children who were tortured and told to flog their mother and every other thing can, you know, get themselves back in the end of the day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll definitely see you in my next video. Bye for now. The Bunny Go.